Hey YouTube, T. Holtz here. I want to make a brief video today about trimming plants. You were looking at my 29-gallon TV tank, which I did some plant trimming today, and there's a couple different ways you can trim plants, and today I did it a way that I don't normally do it, but it makes the plants look a lot better when you do it this way. Today, when I trim this Cabomba, as you can see, the Cabomba quite tall here, and on this side here. Today, when I trimmed it, what I did was I pulled the Cabomba out of the substrate, and I trimmed it from the bottom instead of trimming it from the top. And the Cabomba and other stem plants, even though you're cutting off the roots, when you do that, they will grow roots back on the section that you're trimming. What I had been doing is trimming the top off and replanting it, which gave me all these extra stems of Cabomba. But now that I really don't have any room for extra stems, this tank is pretty much full of plants. The way to go is to pull the plant out of the substrate and trim the bottom part and then replant what I trimmed. And what you get when you do that is you get these nice trimmings where, if it'll focus, where the top has this nice growth to it. You can see the new growth on the top of the trimmings. And let me see, show you one that I trimmed, like this one here. I trimmed from the top a few weeks ago, and you see that stem is right above my finger, and it never really grew back from the top to get this nice finished off growth here that some of these other ones have. So what you get, and here's another one, let me give you another example if you could see it. Right here is another stem that I trimmed probably a week or two ago, and it just kind of ends right there. It does get a little bit of spindly growth out of it, but it doesn't look like that, or like this piece here. So today, since I don't have any more room to add more plants, the best bet was to trim from the bottom and replant and throw out the bottom. Like here, for example, you can see the difference between that plant top and this one. This one I'll trim from the bottom, whereas this one was trimmed from the top. So it gives you a much nicer looking plant when you trim it that way. And don't worry about throwing out the rooted part. It will grow more roots from the bottom part. Also today, this AR Mini here, this little plant here, was attached to this one. You could see the root on the AR Mini sticking out right there, where that little one there on the bottom had a real long root sticking out of it, so I decided to trim it and put it there. This AR Mini has gotten quite a bit taller, than probably doubled in size since I've had it in November. That's the first time I've cut it. You can see there are roots here, so everywhere there's a root, I could cut this Mini and plant it. This one over here was getting quite tall, so that's why I decided to cut it and plant it. I really don't have much room. As you can see, just about every inch of this tank is planted. I really don't have much room to be adding plants. So I've been letting this AR Mini grow a little bit taller than I would like. If I had more room, I would put more, trim it more. I also pulled out a little bit of this Blixa japonica today. It continues to grow and pushes forward. So I pulled out a couple clumps of that. You can see, my Bolivian ram got scared of the camera. All the fish in here are doing well still. My Harlequin rasboras, white cloud mountain minnows, penguin tetras, threadfin rainbows, and there are our 2 Bolivian rams. He sees pretty good outside the tank, and when I put the phone up against the tank, he heads to the back. There is another one somewhere. This one is the dominant one. You see him swimming around more often than the other one. Over on this side, my red-eye tetras. Have a couple of them. A couple of penguin tetras. And here's some Anubias over here in the corner. I didn't show this the last time I made a video of this tank. Kind of just stuck there. It's not planted anywhere. It's kind of just hanging in the water. Couple of different varieties of Anubias. But basically what I wanted to make this video about was how to trim your stem plants. If you want, you can trim them from the top and plant the tops, or pull them out of the substrate, cut off the bottom, and replant it and save the nice growth you have on the tops of your plants. In a dirted tank, it can make a mess. So this tank with a dirt substrate, I pull the plants out of the dirt very slowly so as not to pull up too much dirt and create a mess here in this tank. There was a little bit floating around, but after a water change and a few hours of filtration, it has cleared up nicely. Time to trim also, which I didn't do today, but I should have. This rotala here, kind of leaning up against the top of the tank. Some nice pink coloration. Time to pull that out of the substrate and trim it as well. I'll get that next time. Alright, that's my video for today. Thanks for watching.